Hi, favored ones. Welcome to Soul Talk. Our guest for today is Rommel Isla. He is a hypnotherapist and an NLP practitioner. He's currently training freelancers and agency owners to close their premium clients. So he has a program and it's called Savage Closers Blueprint Program. O, di ba? Ang ganda ng pangalan.
Yeah.
I met Rommel, oh my gosh, several years ago when I was still studying NLP and hypnotherapy. So he is also part of that group. And I really saw how he was able to transform himself. As in, ang laki ng self-transformation. So, and now he's really doing so well. I see him so much sa social media. And he's one of our guests for this month because I saw his dedication, his hard work, and it takes a lot of resourcefulness rin to really transform yourself. So he's our parang subject expert guest for today. All right, so let's all welcome Rommel. Hi Rommel, kumusta ka?
Hi, Brendy, and to our listeners and watchers, viewers, welcome guys. Mabuhay kayong lahat. Cheers.
Oo. Oh my gosh, years ago
Uh,
na talaga. Pero kamusta ka na ngayon? Ano na yung pinagkakabisihan mo? Kasi sobrang active ka with social media. So there really must be something going on right now in your life.
yeah. Currently, I'm more busy into putting up the modules ng mga upcoming na training courses, and I'm really enjoying it. Kasi part of the mission that I'm actually doing is helping independent professionals live the life and lifestyle that they deserve and that they design. So Uh, and I get so much questions about it na sobrang daming skills out there when it comes to, let's say, earning money and living to their potential. However, I found out na parang sobrang dami ng mga internal works na hindi na-address. Meaning, may mga tao na parang they have all the resources. They have all the parang alam mo yon yung tipo na marami ng mga course hoarders, ang dami nilang materials. Pero ang tanong, hindi nila nagagamit ba nila? Only to find out na parang they are finding so many things. They are finding the answer outside and they forgot to look at like, what's inside of me na I can actually offer. So from there, I work on myself then as well kasi sabi ko nga I cannot offer something na I don't have. So from there I work on the internal stuffs like what are the things na I'm running away from? Kasi yun yung yun yung talagang let's say the program beneath na nagraran din sa atin yung mga things na tinatakbuhan natin, yung mga bagay na we feel na if we bury them deep,
Mhm.
wala na sila. Alam mo yun, parang nagtapo yung mga laruan na nasira natin, nilagay natin sa ilalim ng kama, thinking na wala na yan. Only to find out na those things are still there. And they're kind of like a program na nagraran sa atin. So, whenever na darating tayo sa may point, okay, there's an opportunity. And somehow, we feel like, hindi para sa akin yan. There's a part inside us na natitrigger telling us na, no, that's not yours. And you don't deserve that. Hindi para sa yan. So, even though consciously we want this, pero unconsciously we're pushing it away. So those are those are the things that I'm currently working on right now, and also training modules for independent professionals on how to close their premium clients. So part of it is mga NLP techniques, and I incorporate some of the hypno concepts on it to make sure na people can actually get the right message instead of just alam mo yon, parang spouting too many words na hindi naman nagko-connect. So yeah, that's it yung for now, yun yung mga pinagkakaabalahan ko currently.
Oo. Pero I can somehow relate to it. Yung sinabi mo na busy doing the modules, the coursework, it really takes a lot of, alam mo yun, parang lahat talaga ng parang it takes a lot of creativeness to design one para lang
Mhm.
ma-ensure mo that the things that you really want inside of it, how it could help your clients, nandun lahat. So nagigets ko
Mhm.
yung sinasabi mo na hindi siya ganun kadali, yung paggawa ng modules. But, you know, it's also something that I need to hear kasi parang I
Yeah.
also need to create
Uh,
modules then for a certain program. Pero yun nga, medyo nade-delay because I'm doing something else. But I'm
mhm.
glad to know that you're doing that. Ano ba yung mga ano, kasi before this, you really weren't ano eh, parang di ka masyado into coaching or into I know you have that desire, but then sa nakikita ko sa progression ng career mo, it wasn't like you were actually acting on wanting to help others. Parang ano, more of nasa work, nasa employment, gano'n. How did you
Mhm.
transition to coaching and, you know, to find that courage to coach other people?
Well, before talaga, ano na ako, parang I noticed that I have the proclivity to teaching.
Mm,
Napansin ko na 'yan. Parang people, get it, better when I explain it to them. So parang, I have this way of explaining things to them and they're getting it, uh, clearer. Kasi na-notice ko din 'yan even sa mga naging classmates ko if I explain, things to them parang they are always telling me na parang mas malinaw ka pang magturo sa teacher natin. So yun yung common na nakukuha kong feedback. Now, uh of course, meron tayong mga needs kasi na kailangang i-attend. So there are needs na and responsibilities sa family. So chances are I'll have to attend that first. Ngayon, dumating yung time like pandemic. So of course, many of us are forced to uh, mag-work na on their own. Although to me, for me, ano naman, it's my decision. However, ang naging question ko na lang is if magtutuloy ako sa current trend ko, that way back before when I was still in the in the corporate. Kung magtutuloy ako dito sa trend na 'to, ano yung direction na pupuntahan ko? If I will stay on this direction, saan ako papunta? What will happen after let's say 5 years, 10 years from now? And I'm surprised na hindi ito yung gusto kong hindi ito yung gusto kong direction. So I forced myself to really uh, go out and talagang sagad. Although I do not advise this for those, especially those who have their responsibilities for families kanyan and may mga
yes.
dependents. Oh, hindi ko siya ina-advise. It just so happen lang na meron akong kapatid na kaya ng sumuport na sabay kami. So I have parang I have the courage to step out. And from there, sabi ko, I will try to yung sasagarin ko yung sarili ko. Why? Because sometimes kapag nandun na tayo sa gipit na gipit, tsaka tayo nagiging resourceful. I mean, our mind kinda works that way. And I
Mm,
don't know why. I don't know why. Parang alam mo
oo.
yung mga mahilig sa pressure kapag nandun na
Oo nga.
last minute
Actually,
tsaka nagiging
even
creative.
I suffer from that. Minsan parang ano ba yan? Ba't love na love ko talaga yung mga deadlines.
Oh yeah.
Yung sagad.
So parang what I found out is what if you can adjust the deadline? So, ito yung actual na deadline. Make yourself believe na ito yung deadline mismo. And then
Mm,
and then our brain kind of works na it works like wonders na I have to do this kasi dito ganyan. And then from there, uh people are asking me what happened, paano mo siya ginawa, and I just share I just share my experience. I just share my story without the
mm.
parang hindi not to teach them. It's just me sharing what I have and sharing what I know. And then people are parang yeah, nakaka-relate kami ganito ganyan. So from there I really parang I really started seeing myself na okay, if this is actually making an impact, why not pursue this? Kasi I have meron akong parang three na deciding factor if itutuloy ko yung something na yon. Number one, can I be creative on this?
Mm.
Meaning, yung bang ideas ko kaya ko ba siyang i-implement dito? Can I be creative? Can I actually use my brain here? Kasi usually kapag sa corporate na minsan parang whatever they say yun yung gagawin natin
Oo, iba yung
from top
mindset eh.
bottom. Yeah,
It's
iba
iba
yung
yung mindset.
mindset. So that's number one, creativity. Can I be creative on that? Next is authority. Can I call the shots? Can I tell kung kailan ko siya gustong gawin? Can I dictate kung kailan ko siya hindi gustong gawin? And if I can call the shots, or if I have the authority over this, that's a good indicator na at least I can be myself, and I can express more. And then yung last part, yung pangatlo, and this is crucial for me, impact. Is what I'm doing affects other people in a very impactful way or in a positive way. And most of them, ito yung ano, kumbaga, ito yung pinaka deciding factor for me. Dahil sa impact niya, like people are sending me private messages na thank you for what you've done, ganyan. I just realized na ito pala yung mga nagiging problems ko, ito pala yung hindi ko ina-address, ito pala yung mga tinatakbuhan ko na ngayon ko lang nabigyan ng space and time to resolve. And that actually gave me the courage na okay, enough of overthinking, enough of excuses, and just go there. Yun, parang medyo naging mahirap din yung ano, yung journey because parang you'll have to question yourself minsan, and you got to question yourself kasi makikita mo yung iba, parang ang bilis ng progress nila. They're actually there. And then what's happening to me? Ginusto ko naman 'to, 'di ba? Yung mga ano
Oo.
yung mga masasabi mo sa sarili mo na ginusto ko naman 'to. However, why is this not working the way they should?
Mm.
Well, I think yun yung mga iniisip ko. Only to find
Oo.
out na not yet. That's the ano, kumbaga you'll hear some kind of voices na parang not yet. So what I do is just go through it. Just go through it. Yun lang. Yun lang yung ano, yun yung mga naging deciding factor for me to transition from the corporate and then moving into the freelancing world.
Oo. Pero yung timing ng mga tao, it's different eh, di ba?
Yeah.
For you, how long did that?
For me, parang more than a year. Like really. Parang dumating pa sa time na parang feeling ko kailangan ko nang bumalik sa ano, sa corporate. Dumating ako sa may time na yon. And dito talagang nagkakaroon ng ng importansya yung circle, yung social circle natin. Sino yung mga tao na we allow to be part of our lives? Sino yung mga nasa circle natin? Because those people will actually help you see things on a better perspective, see things from the blind side, and tell you things na you're most likely missing. Kasi we cannot see every perspective. There is always blind side na hindi natin nakikita. And these people na who are really really you can call them like friends, like literally na not just acquaintances but friends. They would tell you what you need to hear, not just what you want to hear.
Parang I can relate to what you've said kasi parang ganun din yung journey ko. As in, there was also a time when sa sobrang ano, kasi sabi ko parang kailangan ng safety net. Parang sarap bumalik ng corporate. Wait lang, di ba? But then,
Mhm.
something is also pushing me towards this path na hindi, hindi. Ito yung talaga para sa'yo eh. Parang huwag kang matakot. And then, it's good that you also mentioned having that support system.
Mhm.
Tama naman yun na sino yung mga kasama mo. It's really very important. Kasi sila rin yung sabay-sabay kayo aangat eh.
Yeah.
So you really need to hear more positive things. Sometimes may mga tao na who just wants to please us, 'di ba? To say things that would make us happy, but then there are also friends who are more direct to the point and we just have to take it constructively so
Yeah.
that we can improve. So yun yung parang yung masasabi ko na parang mas gusto ko ng mga talagang kaibigan na diretso.
Mhm. Agree on that. Especially if you have a different mindset. Kasi there's what we call the collaborative and the competitive frame. Parang competitive frame, ito yung common na parang you have to prove yourself, you have to show na ganito, mas angat ka kay ganito, mas angat ka kay ganyan. Ang problema sa competition kasi, Hindi siya natatapos. Once that you hit this let's say level, there's always someone higher than you. So the competitive frame, of course, meron pa rin naman tinatawag na healthy competition. I'm not disregarding the competition at all. I'm just saying na when it comes to, let's say, relationship, when it comes to a building a relationship with people, collaborative mindset, collaborative frame always wins. And my idea about it is para siyang ganito. We are one, parang lahat tayo, iisa lang tayo. Lahat tayo, like tao, para tayong one big family and we're just having fun. We are one and we're just having fun. That's always the mindset that I have whenever I communicate or I talk to people, I connect with people. Yun lang yung ano, yun lang yung parang overarching na idea ko. Ang tingin ko lagi sa mga tao, they are not the people or they are not the ones that I should compete with, but we're just one. So when I connect and whenever I, let's say, I encounter may mga tao na parang they don't like you, they might hate you for what you're doing, especially if you're in sales. Parang tingin ng mga tao na sales ano lang yan, parang bubudulin ko ng mga yan, or they will take money from you. And I'm like, yeah, so anong ano, parang what's the issue there? And I'm not coming from a place na I need to prove myself. But I know that we are one and we're just having fun. Even though may mga iba na parang ill intention sila makipag-communicate, what I do is I eat them with the frame na we're just good, we're just having fun, we're just one. Para makikita mo nang mag-shift yung dynamic from something na competitive, meaning para kayong magsasalubong na ganyan, into I usually do is I do it like that, and let's go here. It's not me competing. It's just me letting them enjoy the company.
That's a good technique. And I'm sure it always, you always usually works. Kasi syempre,
Yeah,
di ba, kung napakaganda ng space mo and the way you approach other people is also very positive, impossible na hindi sila alam mo yon, parang
yeah.
masisway with you.
Oo, kasi well, one of my rule of thumb lagi is whoever controls the frame controls the conversation. Kung sino may pinakamalakas na frame, and laging frame ko talaga, overarching frame ko is collaborative. Even sa sales, for example, 'di ba may mga magbabato ng objection sa na ganyan, and they will try to provoke you just to get what they want. And ang tingin ko lagi is, alam mo yung para kayong tropa na, oo nga eh. At parang laging ganon, yung tropa na kakbay mo ganyan. Yeah,
Mhm.
actually, I agree with you, and I would like to add na kapag ginawa natin ito yung mangyayari. So, mas better na ito na lang yung gawin natin. And they're kind of like, makikita mo kasi sa mukha nila, like, oo nga no. And you will have that reaction. I'd rather have that kind of reaction than winning over winning over them. Kasi yeah, napatunayan mo na tama yung way mo, tama yung approach mo. Pero the way you presented it in a very competitive, and they will feel like natalo sila and talo kayo pareho kapag natalo siya. So I always create the frame where yun nga, collaborative, we are one, we're just having fun. So ang magiging labas doon is win-win-win. Win for me, win for client, and win for the customers, or win for the people that we want to work with.
Magandang framework yan. Pero you yourself, what are the challenges that you have gone through to come into this, parang this place wherein you're already very self-confident and parang you know what direction you'd like to take, and alam mo yon, parang iba na kasi yung ibang-iba na yung dating mo ngayon compared to the first time that I've met you. So
Mhm,
what were the personal lessons that you really had to go through that you also know that other people, kasi nasabi mo yan at the beginning, eh, 'di ba?
mhm.
Maraming times parang we all have the resources, but then we fail to see what's inside. But with you, I think there were a lot of things inside that you were able to actually resolve in this journey.
Okay, for that part, something that I really realize is this. Uh, what we resist persist. May mga parts sa atin na we try to bury down, na parang Hindi ako 'yan, hindi ganyan yung ugali ko, hindi ako ganyan, et cetera, et cetera. Those things, that we're trying to bury, that's how we create a persona. Kumbaga, parang itong part na 'to hindi ako 'to, so ilalagay natin siya sa ilalim. And then we try to create a persona na this one, itong front na 'to, gusto ko ito lang yung makikilala ng mga tao sa akin. Dapat hindi nila ako makilala dito sa negative side ko, ang makikilala lang nila itong positive side ko. Now, the more we try to build this positive side, the more we, let's say, optimize, the more we build it, lalagyan natin ng lalagyan, ipapump natin siya ng ipapump, the more we become brittle. Why? Kasi just one criticism lang dito sa binibuild natin na persona, parang tayo yung nasasaktan. Because that's the ego. And those things na we try to break, nandito lang din siya, nagra-run siya uh, sa sa ilalim. Ngayon, on that particular na idea, what I did is, what if I deep dive into that? Meaning, no more pretending, no more running away. I ang idea ko lang dun is, what if hindi ko sila kailangang i-overcome? Ang kailangan ko lang gawin is harapin sila. And then I face them na these are the things that I did, that let's say, I did na sablay, and these are the things na parang kinakahiya ko na ako. For example, being loud, being expressive, being kuwela. Yun yung mga part na parang tina-try ko na ano, na hindi ako 'yan kasi hindi siya fit sa persona na bini-build ko. Only to find out na itong persona na 'to, whenever people praise me for that, it's not me, it's the persona. So hindi ako 'yon. Ang problema kapag criniticize naman nila 'tong persona, hindi ito yung persona yung nasasaktan, ako. So what I did is, okay, let go of this persona, uh, face these things na tinatakbuhan ko, yung mga maling decisions, yung mga maling actions na ginawa ko dati na parang dine-deny ko din sa sarili ko. Those things that hurt me, na sabi ko, ayoko na ma-experience 'yan. So I'm running away from them. Instead of running away, I just face them. I don't need to overcome them. All I have to do is just face them. Okay. Which part of these things that I'm running away from are controlling me now? Kasi chances are these things are there not to not to actually control you, but they're telling you something na, okay, na-miss mo tong part na to. Na-miss mo tong part na to. So, one by one, I face them na ito yung mali kong ginawa. Okay, so what can I learn from this? And then what's happening there is, I'm starting to see things on a clearer perspective. Kasi I'm no longer running. Kumbaga, these things na I'm trying to run away from are actually part of me. So this gives me the whole na ako. Hindi yung partial na ako na this persona, and I'm not ditching this part na ginawa ko, let's say mga mali, some things that I ran away from. And those and when we start to integrate those things na let's say, ayoko tong mga to, hindi ako to. When you try to integrate that, become more na ikaw. We become more yung unique na tayo mismo, instead of trying to create a picture or a persona or a character or an avatar, and showing people na, hey, ako to, ganito akong klase ng tao, etc., etc. Like, no. Nakakapagod kasi yon. Kasi you'll have to maintain a character that doesn't even exist. So your energy is kind of consumed by the controlling part. Ang question doon, kung lagi kang nagko-control, if you're trying to control everything, one move na hindi aligned dito, everything falls apart. What if you can just release and let yourself really take over, yung talagang ikaw? And then from there, na-notice ko na my relationships are getting better. I can connect to people better. I'm not walking on eggshells anymore. Kasi I don't have to I don't have to live dun sa may persona. Whatever comes up na alam kong ako, ah, yeah, ako to. So Why bother? Why bother filtering things when you can just be yourself? And yun yung nakakatakot na advice, to be honest, yung be yourself. Kasi ang question is, what if people were led to believe sa lie na you're just like that? Ikaw lang, yan yung ikaw. Talunan, wala ka namang kwenta, wala kang magagawa. Yung, kumbaga, yung programming na laging nai-embed sa atin ng bata, usually people believe that as truth, only to find out na no, they're not. We're just too young before to realize na that's not you. It's just the label. It's just the emotion. It's just the emotion nung parents natin before kaya nasabihan kanila ng ganyan. But that doesn't mean na totoo 'yon. It just so happen lang na let's say masama yung loob nila nung time na 'yon kaya nasabi nila yung mga ganyan. And minsan we take those negative stuffs and criticisms and yung mga pagalit na yon as our identity, which is hindi naman. Yun yung mga ano, those are the things na parang I have to face, not to overcome. And then I just have to face them and then slowly let them go.
I love ano, the wording that he used, yung harapin mo lang, di mo naman kasi kailangan talaga siyang i-overcome.
Yeah.
Kapag hinarap natin, it's more of we're accepting the different parts of ourselves and integrating it into who we are. So parang tama ka, parang mas nagiging mas buo yung
Mhm.
tunay na pagkatao. Pero siyempre, di ba, not everyone can do it on their own. They really need guidance and they really need someone like a coach or maybe a counselor to go through that process of
Yeah.
breaking the programming, the limiting beliefs that that has hounded them since they were young.
Mhm.
So ang galing that you were also able to do it on your own then. I know it's not really technically on your own. I'm sure marami rin tumulong sa'yo sa journey na
Yeah.
yan. Pero for you to experience it firsthand and then, understand how it's done. And most probably, it's also a method that could help other people. So yun yung ino-offer mo ngayon
Yeah.
sa mga
Oo.
coaches mo.
It's part of
No?
the program. Actually, the Savage Closers Blueprint originally, ang goal lang niyan is to help independent professionals, freelancers, and agency owners to close their premium clients. Originally, yun yung goal. And then sabi ko, actually, these techniques can be found in the internet. Sobrang dali lang nila mahanap. And
Mm-mm.
what can I offer that's actually something of value and something na unique? I could say na unique because uh, hindi basta-basta makikita sa internet or let's say unique in their own sense. And I'd go something like, okay, how about motivation? Sobrang dami na ng motivation. How about therapy? Yeah, therapy is good, pero what makes it even more unique? How about expressing themselves? Letting go of the idea na be yourself. Kasi ang advice na be yourself, delikado siya, as I mentioned earlier. Delikado siya if that person believed that he's worthless, walang kwenta, walang ambag sa lipunan or anything na hindi naman yung buong siya mismo. And what if I can help people uh, let go of those things na their front, the mask, and just expose themselves there. And yun talagang sila. So I designed my module na okay, so ito yung mga technique part dito natin lalagay itong mga techniques na to and strategies. Let's focus more on the internal work. So I work with motivation, letting go. So and then at tackling yung mga past traumas as well and helping them realize na hey, ito yung part na to na tinatago mo na which is actually you. Even the shadow part, yung mga dark side natin, actually it's part of who we are. And people this is something that I've learned all throughout, yung sinasabi nga nila na I've heard this from uh, Dr. Jordan Peterson, yung sa may shadows.
Oh, yeah. He
Yeah.
psychologist who wrote, ano pong book yun?
12 Rules
Ang
for
dami,
Life.
ang
Uh,
dami niyang libro eh. Oh my gosh.
yeah. So, yun yung ano, is something na talaga natutunan ko sa kanya is ang explanation nila doon sa the meek shall inherit the earth. So, meek is parang people see meek as timid.
Mm.
And then if if you go back sa original translation daw talaga nun is Greek yung from the Greek word yung meek na yon. And meek means parang sila yung mga tao na they are capable of doing everything. Like literally everything, even the violent ones. So kumbaga imagine na they are, let's say, a samurai na meron silang katana na parang anytime they can literally like let's say kill people or do anything na violent, pero they keep their katanas sheath, meaning they keep their swords sheath, so that when time comes nakakailanganin kung kailan mo kailangang maging let's say monster, you can be that. Kasi people now are hiding sa tinatawag natin na morality. Parang doon nila tinatago yung weakness nila na parang, okay, bakit hindi ka nag-step up? Hindi kasi ako mahilig sa gulo eh. Pero ang totoo nun, they just can't step up because they don't know how to express themselves and they don't know if they can take the criticism from other people for standing up what is right. So they are hiding from what we call the morality instead of okay, bakit hindi ka nag-step up? Yun, ginagamit nila na excuse na hindi ayoko kasi ng gulo, ayoko ng away. Pero ang totoo nun, they're not capable of defending themselves. So you'll notice na even sa martial arts, like the karate, parang 'di ba, ganito yung lagi sa karate, ganito yung parang let's say bow or something. This is the idea, parang the chaos and then the peace, parang ganon. The reason why you're learning martial arts is not to use martial art to everyone. To use it to protect yourself kasi martial arts is self-defense. And you don't use that to attack, ginagamit mo lang siya kung kailan kailangan. And same goes with our shadows, yung mga monsters inside us na parang may mga parts sa atin na violent. And we don't express our violence for the sake of expressing violence. We use violence kapag kailangan. Not just parang hindi tayo ganong klase ng tao because of course we are human being and we know kung kailan dapat ginagamit yung dapat natin gamitin. It just so happen lang na people are trying to run away from that part of them, their shadows. They're trying to run away from their shadows. Like no, you cannot run away from your shadow. What you need to do is to integrate that. Allow yourself to be part of that kasi that's the time that you can be whole. And even sa communication, for example, kung hindi mo kayang ilabas yung assertive side mo, how can you how can you tell the person na hey Brendy, I think you're doing this wrong. I think may mas better ka na kailangan gawin instead of doing this. Or hey Romel, I think yung ginagawa mo na is mali. Kaso parang normally kasi ngayon people don't want to offend people even though they need to hear what you have to say. Kahit na alam mo na makakatulong to, parang people are hiding from what they call the morality na ayoko kasi ayoko ng away. Like no, you're doing that person a disservice because you're not doing the thing, or you're not saying the thing that you should be saying to that person to help them better. So yeah, yun yung mga parts na parang kinda deep in a sense. However, it really helped me to let's say springboard from the depths na pinanggalingan ko before.
Oo. Pero that would entail you making parang sa nafi-feel ko ha, it seems like you have to get your mental game really strong.
Yeah. And part of it is it's part of it is just the release. Meaning you don't have to pretend na you're strong. Common na misconception ng mga tao is they associate weakness sa vulnerability.
Mhm.
Like you can be very vulnerable and show your vulnerability without being weak. For me, weakness is hiding your vulnerability na you don't want to see people na you are weak or whatnot. Kasi showing your vulnerability meaning you're open. Open ka sa mga tao, open ka sa relationship, open ka sa criticism, open ka na masabihan ka nila ng hindi maganda, and you're just fine. Okay ka lang doon. Okay ka lang doon. And by you being expressive and let's say vulnerable, you make people comfortable as well. Why? Because they can see na, okay, whenever I'm around this person, kapag kasama ko tong si, let's say, kapag kasama ko si Romel, I can be more vulnerable. Meaning, I can show yung talagang ako, like, this is me, eto ako, may pagkaganito ako na, may pagganito ako ugali, and no judgment with Romel. So, mas masayang kasama si Romel versus yung mga tao na, alam mo yon, they are hiding their vulnerabilities, they're hiding everything, their flaws and whatnot. Ang dating doon, parang robotic yung tao. Because the person is just too perfect. Sobrang perfect niya na parang nakaka-intimidate makipag-usap, nakaka-intimidate connect. And there's no connection there. Why? Multiple layers of defenses, multiple layers of defenses na paano ako connect dito sa tao? There's a way to connect with that. Hindi ka makaka-connect kasi ang dami-dami mong tinatago, ang dami. I'm not saying naman na ilabas mo lahat ng baho, like not like that. It's more on being just uh, letting go of the control na I need to be this kind of person. But it's you being just you. Showing them na okay, mahina ako sa part na to. And that opens the opportunity for other people as well to help you on that. Kasi you're showing na, okay, mahina ako dito. Okay, so I think pwede tayong mag-collab dito. Or matutulungan mo ako sa may part na to. And other people will not know that. Hindi nila malalaman yon if you're not open, if you're not vulnerable, if you're not showing yourself.
Ano, tama naman yun. Kasi ako, parang, it's I'm very choosy to whom I'm going to show yung yung vulnerable side.
Mhm.
Um, Most of the time, lalo na 'pag hindi ko talaga kakilala, parang tahimik lang ako and ano, parang I just allow them to think whatever, judgment that they would think when they see me.
Yeah,
Kasi alam ko naman na parang, hindi naman nila ako kilala, eh. So, I'll just remain quiet, let them judge me for my external looks, 'di ba? Or yung
yeah,
kung ano yung energy na dala ko during that day. Um, pero with talagang mga community ko or even sa mga close friends, parang mas open ako to show the kalog side, the ano,
yeah.
yung yung ano. So that's also something. Parang na-realize ko, oo nga 'no, tama naman to be as open as I can be. Kasi doon lumalabas yung collaborations with other people.
Yeah, and this is the idea then when it comes to selling for me as a closer. Uh, Dito kasi nanggaling ang idea ng pagiging open for me. People think that selling is you selling closing at saka being a closer at saka being a salesperson is for me on my personal perspective is different. As a salesperson, you're selling something. As a closer, you're giving them an opportunity to sell themselves to you. Yun yung idea na I really take into consideration, and yun yung talagang kini-carry out ko. So may mga times na uh, you are the top guy on this. However, you need to give them the space to invest as well. Kasi if you're the only one doing all the work, uh, to me that's not even a mutual relationship eh. Parang you're doing all the work. So who's chasing now? Kumbaga, when give them the opportunity to invest as well, na makakapag-ambag din sila sa'yo, and that makes them feel good. Kasi they know na meron silang nagiging impact din with their actions. And that's why pag may mga usually in a competitive na mindset, when someone gives something of value, the other person competes. Meaning, hindi, mas magaling ako dyan. Hindi, mas maano ako dito. It kills the vibe. Really. It kills the vibe. It kills the relationship. And the bigger person always gives space for the others to shine. Parang, yeah, sobrang astig nito, sobrang galing nitong tao na 'to. Actually, sobrang sarap niyang kasama, ganito. So, you're not elevating yourself alone. You're elevating other people as well. Like you're pulling them up. And what's so good about the idea of pulling people up is this. You're reinforcing the idea that you are here. You're reinforcing the idea na nasa taas ka. Kasi you cannot pull someone if you're down.
Oo, tama.
And yun yung ano eh, yung mga subtle ideas na people don't realize. For example, humility. Let's talk about humility for a minute. Humility, parang people don't want to be humble. Ayaw nilang mag-show ng humility because they think na nasa baba sila. Like to me, no. People who are high status, kung sino yung mga high status people, sila yung totoong pwedeng maging humble. Why? Kasi nasa taas sila eh. So they can put themselves down. And people who are not humble, parang who are trying to always get the high horse, sila yung mga tao na totoong nandito sa baba. Kasi if you are a high status person, kung ikaw talaga yung mataas na klase ng tao, pwede kang bumaba kasi nasa taas ka. Pero yung mga tao na nasa baba, they cannot be humble. Why? Kasi nandito na sila. And that's the mindset that I'm coming from. For example, I can be humble to these people. Why? Because I know that I'm already here. It's reinforcing. It's reinforce yung mga subtle na ideas kasi na nagre-reinforce. For example, uh, I need to work on this para maging confident. Like no. Kasi the more you suck into the idea na I need to do this para maging confident, you're reinforcing the idea na you're not confident. Nire-reinforce mo siya. So the it's not about what you're doing, but where is this coming from? And once na mag-gets mo na idea na you should you're just fine. However, kumbaga, ito kasi yung ano eh, mali eh. Parang there's an idea na you're just fine, ayos ka lang kung sino ka talaga. Literal naman, totoo naman yun. Parang you're a person of value kahit na ano yung status mo. Ang problema lang doon is people forget that they're just fine kung sino sila. That's why they are trying to add so many things. They're trying to add so many stuffs like courses, personality development, uh, all the other stuffs to make them self feel good. Pero ang totoo na, they can feel good by just being who they are. Ngayon, will that give us the excuse na not to take action anymore? No. Yun yung parang misconception na no, dapat hindi ka dapat makontento, dapat hindi ka makontento kung sino ka ngayon kasi pag nakontento ka na, hindi ka nagagalaw, hindi ka na magte-take action. No. Kasi kung kontento ka, kung masaya ka ngayon, if you enjoy kung ano yung meron ka ngayon, kung sino ka ngayon, you will still take action. Pero you're not coming from a different perspective. You're coming from a place of inspiration, meaning you're inspired to do this. For example, masaya na ako kung ano yung physique ko ngayon. Sobrang sobrang saya ako, na-appreciate ko 'yan. Pero I will still go to the gym. Why? Because I'm inspired. I'm inspired to take care of myself. I'm inspired to take action versus ah hindi kailangan ko magpunta sa gym kasi gusto ko maging maganda yung katawan ko and gusto ko magkaroon ng six pack abs. I want to attract people and tell me na oh grabe ang ganda naman ng katawan ni Romel. Like no. That's coming from a place of desperation. That's coming from a place na you need to please someone else instead of you doing what you have to do, doing kung ano yung dapat mong gawin because you're inspired to do it. Meaning, uh, there's no pushing anymore. You're just doing that because you want to do it. Hindi ka na desperate na kailangan ko tong gawin. But I want to do this because this makes me happy. I'm inspired to do this and I know that this will bring impact to other people as well.
Ano? dami kong nakukuhang tips from you. Some of them are reminders, but then some parang, oo nga naman 'no, parang mga bagong insight. Pero you, kasi ang dami mong tinutulungan, eh. As in you now have ano, a lot of people who you mentor. Siyempre 'di ba you also have to empathize with them, yung ikaw lagi yung nanghihila sa kanila, 'di ba, you pull them up. Is there any time na you also get tired and you know, how do you face it when you're already tired?
Yeah, may mga times na ano, may mga times din talaga nakakapagod. Especially like right now, I'm a one-man army right now. I do all the ano, I do the promotions and stuff, and I'm catering some clients as well and doing some trainings and managing a Facebook group. So medyo nakakapagod siya. And ang isang ginagawa ko usually is, kumbaga, I take a time off like for a day or even weekends. May mga times talaga na nakakapagod. Ang nasa isip ko lang muna is I'm start I'm just building out. Nagbi-build pa lang ako. So, accept the reality na mapapagod at mapapagod ako instead of me, saying na, nakakapagod na 'to, parang, this is not worth, pursuing anymore. Like, no, you're just building out. Nagbi-build up ka pa lang. So, accept the reality na mapapagod ka talaga, especially the first few phases. Yan yung talaga nakakapagod. Pero once that you set the momentum, meron na talagang galaw, and all you have to do is parang fan ka na lang ng konti, parang ihip-ihip ka na lang, and pupunta na rin siya sa right direction. Now, with regards to my, let's say, my mental and emotional state dahil sa, let's say, handling too many clients, for that part, like, I make sure na they take responsibility of their mental health as well. I'm not putting it on myself na yes, I might be your coach and I help you uh work on this, pero that's not my responsibility. My responsibility is to help you and to guide you, not to do all the works for you. Kasi dun papasok yung very taxing na ano na trabaho ng mga client works when you try to do everything para sa kanila. Make sure na they understand that they also have their roles. Meron silang roles na kailangan gampanan. And hindi pwede na sa buong play or sa buong movie nila ikaw yung gumaganap. They have to play their role. They have to ano, they have to understand na may timing for that, and know their roles, know when to act, and just give them ano, I just give them the reminder. And also, whenever na meron silang win, I reinforce it to them na sila yon, not me. Kasi some people are, alam mo yon, parang may mga coaches na they are feeding their own ego na, yeah, alam mo, gawa ko yan, etc., etc. May mga coaches na gano'n because they're building their ego. Like for me, I let go of the ego. What I
Mm.
do is, okay, every time na meron silang win, I tell them, so, what did you do? Ano yung ginawa mo dyan? Okay, did it work? Well, congratulations. What happened if hindi mo yan ginawa? I think hindi, okay. Yeah, I want you to clap yourself. I want you to tap yourself on the back or in your shoulder. Congratulate yourself because I just gave you an instruction, but for the most part, you did the work. Ikaw yung gumawa niyan. Ikaw yung nag-decide at ikaw yung nag-push through at ikaw yung tumapos niyan. So I want you to thank yourself, congratulate yourself na that's your work, not me. Hindi ako yan. It's you. And by reinforcing their wins na sila din yung responsible for that, may times na they will message me na ito yung nangyari, coach, ito yung nangyari, coach, ito yung nangyari. And sobrang thankful. I always bring it back to them because it's not me. Sila yung nag-decide to take this course of action, and by doing that, they're giving themselves a huge favor. And sa kanila yon. And when you teach people to stand up for themselves, they will they will teach that as well to other people. Hindi yung ano, hindi yung mga toxic na positivity na parang normalizing everything. Like, no, I'm not a big fan of that because you're taking away their resiliency. You need to you need to let them experience some pains, some bitterness for them to become resilient, or else magiging brittle yung mga tao na nasa paligid mo. Magiging brittle yung mga tao na part ng circle mo. And I don't want that. Kumbaga, if you want to strengthen yourself, strengthen your network as well. Let them parang give value. And again, another parang concept is those who are giving value, sila talaga yung may value. Sila yung meron. Kasi they can give. They can give. And the reason why they can give is because that's what they have. And you'll notice na yung mga tao na parang sobrang sobrang damot nila. Sobrang damot nilang magbigay ng let's say knowledge. Sobrang damot nila na mag-share ng insight or whatever they have. Sila yung madalas na ubusan. I kind of noticed that. Kasi when you give, you're reinforcing the idea na you're here. You have the capacity, you have it's not about it's not about the doing anymore. It's more on the being. It's more on the being. And something that I've realized I've learned from my mentor as well. Sabi niya, people will not remember the things that you've given to them, but they will remember the kind of giver you are. Kaya whenever I give, like I do like all out. I don't hold back dun sa mga opportunities to help or to give, because at the end of the day, it's just me reinforcing the idea na I'm already here. That's why I'm doing this.
Yung the most lasting thing naman talaga that we can give other people is that feeling of yung good vibes.
Yeah,
Oo,
yeah,
sobrang nun, sobrang strong nun. Um, and you're right when you said that they may not remember what exactly you have done, but that feeling that you left doon sa nila, sa pakiramdam talaga nila, that would last such a long time. Yun yung
yeah,
more satisfying if you also ask me.
yeah. I totally agree on that. Parang lahat ng lessons minsan di na nila di na nila matatandaan yon. There's no way for them to remember that. But the emotion, the vibe, the impact that you've left in them, man, like really, that's lasting. And kumbaga, this is not about parang it's not about the ego eh. It's more on knowing that you've did a great job impacting someone else's life. And apparently, people don't usually take time to realize na they have so much value to offer. People don't usually realize that na parang they are busy in their head. They are busy uh, sa sa sarili nila. For example, ito yung favorite na idea na lagi kong bino-brought up to people. Usually I do this sa training. Parang when you lift up your index finger, and then pag nakatutok ka dito sa index finger mo, everything else nagiging blurry. Pero if you focus on the background, the index finger becomes blurry naman. Same goes with relationship. If you focus too much on yourself, pag naka-focus ka masyado sa sarili mo, like if this is you, everything else becomes blurry. Now, how can you connect with them if you cannot see them? Kasi most of the time, when we focus on ourselves, ano nakikita natin? Kulang ako sa ganito, hindi ako ganyan, hindi ako magaling sa ganito, hindi ako magaling sa ganyan. And those things that we're focusing on amplifies. So, doon tumataas kadalasan yung anxiety natin na parang, hindi ako pwede yan, ganito. And doon tumataas yung worries natin because we're focusing too much on the things that we cannot do. And if we give attention to other people as well, parang nagbigay tayo ng attention naman sa kanila and focus on them, especially when you're working with your clients, you can see the better picture. And whether kaya mo yan or hindi, it doesn't matter. Why? Because you can direct them to the right people. Alam mo yung problema eh. Alam mo na yung exact na problem. So, irrelevant yan kung kaya mong isolve or not. That's irrelevant. What's important is, do you know someone na pwede makatulong dito kung hindi mo siya kayang gawin? And that's giving value as well. Even though hindi ikaw yung nag-solve, hindi ikaw yung binayaran para gawin yan, it's totally fine. It doesn't That doesn't bother me. Why? Because I know na if I direct them to the right people, they will get what they need. They will get yung kailangan nila sa time na yon. And that will elevate their life. Mag-elevate yon sa status nila, ma-elevate kung ano man yung kailangan nila na i-address.
Yung sa'yo ba, yung eto kasi we're all almost ano, at the end na rin ng ano natin, ng call natin.
Mm,
And, you know, for the past hour, you have shared so many valuable insights. Um, yung a lot of people rin naman kasi, as you've also mentioned, ako rin naman na-experience ko rin yan with my counselees, 'di ba? Parang they already know what they want, but yun nga, parang nahihirapan to do it, 'di ba? Parang what kind of
mhm.
mindset, yung puwede mong ano, yung puwede mong i-advice for them? What kind of mindset, what kind of heart should they have so that, you know, they see themselves for who they really are, not the persona or not the ego that you mentioned, but sino talaga sila and how can they move forward from that?
Okay. I started with safety, meaning, okay, uh, you're good and you're safe. Safe ka. When you try to open up, you're safe. And then I reinforce that. For example, okay, nasabi mo na ito yung ano, yung hindi mo kinakatakutan mo. How did you feel now? I don't feel comfortable, etc., etc. Okay. But notice that you're still safe. I reinforce to them yung safety na they're fine. Okay sila. When they open up, okay sila. When they become let's say vulnerable, open sila and safe sila. From there, I reinforce to them na minsan the reactions are not in right proportion to the reality, and I show it to them. I reinforce that na okay. Na-mention mo na ganito, and then you're just fine now. And then from there, magdi-deep dive sila. Okay, ano yung reason? And then pagdating dun sa ano, sa mga reasons na yon, so most of the time medyo magiging uncomfortable sila because something has been triggered. And then, okay, I don't want you to overcome that. I don't want you to ano, uh to yun nga, overcome. What I want you to is face it. Face it like kung hindi ka comfortable ng malapit, layo ka ng konti. And I want you to take a few steps and notice na you're uncomfortable and you're getting comfortable at it. And know that you are safe. You're just fine. And then later on, they realize na nandun na sila. Sobrang lapit na nila sa kinakatakutan nila and they're just fine. Okay, what I want you to do is fully embrace that. Know that this is also part of you. And once na fully experience mo siya, let that go. And then from there, uh, when I ask them, okay, let's say balik tayo dun sa scenario na yan. How do you feel? Wala. I'm just fine. I'm okay. Yun yung common na ano, common na reaction na nakukuha ko from them because of the stacking of the safety and understanding that they are just fine na and then letting go of that traumatic experience, that trauma energy. When they start to let go of that, things becomes better. Kasi the problem why we're having uh, issues with expressing ourselves, minsan is us. Parang we are protecting too much of ourselves to a point na our protection becomes our, let's say, block as well. Yun na din yung nagiging wall natin. So yeah, yun yung ano, yun yung kumbaga that's the mindset na I usually or most of the time talaga ini-implement ko sa kanila. Reinforce the safety na they're just fine. Okay sila.
Bigla ako nagkaroon ng insight. That's ano, that's really helpful. Thank you so much. Ano, kasi well, alam naman 'to ng community ko kasi I'm very vocal about my personal issues din, eh. Um, ano, for the past several months, I've been, feeling overwhelmed. Minsan nandyan, minsan wala, ganyan.
Mhm,
And I know that there's an underlying sense rin na may konting fear, may konting anxiety, pasulpot-sulpot siya. So
mhm.
parang ako, okay, parang pabalik-balik ah. Parang, I just couldn't, parang sabi ko, ano bang, how do I deal with this? And right now, when you said safety, that, yung ganun klaseng mindset and that belief or the space of being safe,
Mhm.
kung yun lang pala yun. I need to realize that it's okay. No matter what it is that we're feeling or what we perceive to be, we're still
Yeah,
okay. I mean, we're still safe. That goes such a long way. And yung
yeah,
ganun na shift in perception and mindset. So
yeah,
thank you for that.
mhm.
Amazing.
Yeah, because
Parang
people
ako yung natulungan mo. Well, I hope that those who are watching this will also, find value. Kung hindi man itong last part, even from the start kasi ang dami ng sinishare ni
yeah,
Rommel, which is really really so helpful.
yeah.
Yun.
Problem kasi sa confidence, ito yung misconception ng mga tao sa confidence, na if you're confident, you can solve anything. Or kapag confident ka, things will go well all the way. Like, no. For me,
Yeah,
the
totoo yan.
confidence is
Oo.
whether magpunta yan dun sa gusto mong direction or magpunta yan sa hindi mo gustong direction, you're just fine. That's the kind of confidence. And as one of my mentor always saying na confidence is not the requirement. It is the result. You don't do things to become you don't need confidence to do a specific action. You do that specific action to gain confidence. And
Yeah.
yun yung kumbaga lagi kong sinasabi sa mga tao. May mga tao na parang hindi kasi ako confident, like kaya hindi ako nagte-take action. Like, no. Take action and then you become confident.
Yeah, there's such a thing as the more you become competent, you
Mhm.
become more confident. That's
Yeah.
also true. It works for me, as in super. Kaya minsan 'pag may bagong thing na kailangan gawin, sa umpisa ako nahihirapan. But
Yeah.
once I have, faced it and done it, afterwards, it's easier na. It gets easier. So
Yeah.
that's when I would know that things will be okay. Things are okay.
Yeah.
Yan.
And this is so fun about ito yung sobrang fun for me. When you know and when you understand and you know how to let go of those, let's say, uh triggers, those traumatic energies in inside of us, kasi ano yan eh, parang stimulus yan na pumasok and then trap sila. That's why whenever we try to take action, minsan we push it aside because part of may part inside of us yung nagki-kick in, and those are triggers. Ngayon, when we understand on how to let go of those, being triggered is not something that we're afraid anymore. This is exciting. Why? Okay, I'm gonna do this thing, and then I'm gonna check. Okay, matitrigger ba ako dito? Kapag na-trigger ako dito, that's the exciting part. Because you know na this is something na I can let go of now. Instead of, ayokong puntahan to kasi natitrigger ako. No, pupuntahan ko to para ma-trigger ako, para ma-release ko o ma-let go ko yung nakaka-trigger na yan.
Which is true. It's so
Yeah,
true. Kasi dun nangyayari yung biggest transformation, biggest growth. When
yeah,
you put yourself in a situation na talagang triggered ka at hindi yun ang comfort zone mo, yung parang
yeah,
talagang lumabas ka out of your comfort zone. So that's really where a lot of change happens. Umiiba talaga yung tao. And it's always for the better when you face it really well.
yeah. It's because of the conditioning. Parang we're conditioned before na when there's a triggering scenario, go back. Mag-revert ka kung saan yung comfort zone mo because there, you're safe. We're no longer in the prehistoric era anymore, na kung saan pag lumabas ka ng bahay, kakainin ka ng mga wild animals. Wala na yung ganun. Pero it still remained in our, let's say, instinct to keep us safe. Ang question dun is it even working sa ngayon? Part of it is yes. Kaya lang, nagiging disproportionate nga yung reaction natin sa reality. That's why I'm always reinforcing to them yung safety. Okay, take a few steps. Papalapit yan. Okay, know that you're safe. Yes, you're triggered and you're safe. How's that? Okay, can you take another step? Yeah. Okay. You're triggered. Yeah. Alam mo yun, may doubt na yung are you triggered? Yeah. And take another step and know that you are safe. And then from there, they just realize na, wait a minute, this has been for years. Sobrang tagal na nito. Only to find out that they don't even exist. And I
Yeah.
tell them that because you did the work, you stop running away and you start
Oo.
facing them. Notice, and then I tell them that notice na you didn't fight them. What you did is just face them and then walk towards that. How's that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oo. I can actually I can relate to that. Ano naman, kasi with me coming from naman, yung approach ko is always psycho-spiritual and, coming from the spiritual side, 'di ba sa Buddhist parang
Mm-hmm.
kailangan mag-detach ka from things. So, when you detach, that means you're not really that concerned if, things will go okay or things would go not your way. The important thing is that you're still present and you're doing what you have to do and that's
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
'di ba? Saka yung rin, um nawala yung thought. Other than
Yeah.
detachment, ano, there's something nawala lang yung thought.
Yeah.
Pero
And
I
and
can
pro-
I can actually relate it to
mhm.
Buddhism. Yung last na sinabi mo. It's something nice. Sayang nawala sa thought, nag-fleet
Yeah.
agad siya.
And probably I'd like to add is when we are detaching minsan we, I need to detach like no, you don't need to detach. Detach because you are inspired to do so. Kasi minsan kasi if once that there's a need, you're coming from a different place na. You're not
Oo,
coming from the
kaya
right place.
mm. Kaya nga ako when I use the word need, kailangan ko gawin 'to, kailangan ganyan, dapat ganyan, parang ba't ko ba ginagamit yang words na yan? Wait lang, 'di ba? Tanong agad, saan ba nanggagaling 'to? Ayun,
Yeah.
kasi it's parang it's when you say you need something, you're coming from a place of lack
Yeah, and
and
desperation.
it's not really true, 'di ba?
Mhm.
It's not real. Ayun, naalala ko na with Buddhism, parang 'di ba they have this quote, they're saying that suffering is an illusion, which is true with your
Mhm.
example, 'di ba? The more you face your triggers, the more you go near what you fear the most, you'd realize na, teka, okay lang naman pala ako. So,
Yeah,
illusion ko lang yun, 'di ba? So,
exactly.
yun.
Yeah, exactly. And even sa ano, even those people who have traumas and excuse for the example and because this is just for illustration and here people who have traumas for example, let's say uh lizards, they think of lizards as someone na parang singlaki ng mga lions or sinlaki ng mga dragons that they're going to eat them. Yun yung tingin nila sa lizards, those people. And probably not for everyone, pero most of the time yun yung ano, yun yung depiction nila, yun yung picture na nakikita nila in their head na this lizards sobrang liit lang nun. Pwede mong tapakan, pwede mong kumbaga there's so many things na pwede mong gawin and they won't win against you. But their perception about the lizards, it's just like a huge gigantic dragon na kakain sa kanila. And only to find out na, okay, how about lapitan mo siya? And then, pambihira. Butiki lang pala to.
Ay, ayun, yun yung minsan talaga. Of course, when a person, kahit naman ako when we go through trauma, it's really, really hard kasi it's really imprints ng mga energies sa
Yes.
katawan.
Yeah.
Even if it's no longer happening right now, we'd still really
It
feel
feels
it
real.
and experience
Uh,
it as if it's happening all over again right
mhm.
now. Pero
Yeah.
yun nga, when we face it na, when we have the courage to face it, of course, with guidance then, um, that's when we realize that pwede rin palang ma-release. Pwede rin
Yeah.
palang ma-let go.
Mhm.
Yun. So that's something really, really valuable. And um, dun din, pwede kayo tulungan ni Rommel, di ba? Kasi siyempre iba yung approach niya eh, iba yung sa akin. And actually this talk will also be available in YouTube. So, it's not only for my community, but also for your community and all others who would want to, listen to this. So if you're going through something, parang you feel stuck, di ba? Parang minsan ganun eh, you feel stuck.
Yeah.
You
Uh-huh.
need to move forward. It's okay to ask help.
Yeah,
It's okay to ask for help. Ayun.
definitely. Kasi sobrang 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 valuable na merong someone will help you see things from a different perspective. Kasi what we see right now is here, it's limited. As people who can go around, see it, and then no bias, walang kasi may mga personal biases tayo sa situation natin. But if you allow other people like from a third person perspective or the bird's eye view, it's kind of different. Iba yung makikita nila and they can help you point out to the right direction.
Ayun. So, actually when I post this video, I'll also be posting your page so that at least people will also know where to find you, how to contact you, ano, and take a look. Even at your programs, the modules that you're creating right now, maybe you'd also want to promote that.
Right now, well, close na yung
Oo.
Savage Closers Blueprint. However, I'll probably opening it ng live sa either November or first quarter ng year next year. And the Savage Closers Blueprint, this is a step-by-step process on how to close your premium clients just like a Savage Closer. And yung main essence ito is first, this is a transformational training. This is not solely focusing on the closing part. So more on how can you help yourself, like liberate yourself, and just put yourself out there. And next is the techniques on how to close premium clients. So I incorporated NLP techniques and hypnosis techniques as well, so that you can help yourself and your counterpart or yung kausap mo to how to have a better communication, like a connecting ones, hindi yung you're just spouting words for the sake of may masabi lang. And then also how can you implement this on a daily basis, kasi for me mas okay pa na tawagin mo ako na or tawagin mo yung program na the most boring, pinaka-boring na training ever na na-attendan mo, as long as you're getting results, versus like sobrang astig, sobrang ganda nung training, very entertaining. Ang tanong, nakapag-close ka ba? Because I'm really proud of the program. Ngayon, last week we just started the program, and two of my students already closed their premium clients na. Already. Hindi pa tapos. Like the program is consist of 8 days. Pero 2 days pa lang natatapos namin. Two of them already closed their premium clients. And then last batch, eight yung nag-enroll, because I'm really picky with the people that I work with. 8 sila. 4 of them closed their premium clients. 3 of them closed 2 within the span of 8 days. And
Amazing.
that's why I'm really proud of that program. And I believe that this will help or impact so many people, especially those independent professionals.
Mhm.
So yeah, thank you
That's
for
that's
thank you for the platform.
really that's amazing what you're doing to help them. Minsan kasi parang ano, ang hirap eh 'pag feeling mo may kulang sa'yo tapos hindi ka nakaka-close, ganyan. But then sometimes kulang lang talaga na yung embrace sa sarili, yung
Yeah.
yung talagang kilalanin yung sarili and how to communicate and connect to other people. So
Yep.
that's a beautiful program, and I'm glad that you're offering it to to select
Yeah.
select people. Oo, siyempre kailangan pa rin select kasi we're looking for parang qualities rin eh.
Mm. And then
Minsan
also,
right na eh, minsan right na yung person eh. Minsan naman talagang mafe-feel mo hindi pa ready.
Yeah, and the reason for that, the reason why I'm really picky with the people that I work with, because I want them to get as much value as they can from the program. For example, if you're starting out, if you're just starting out, wala ka pang clear na market and wala ka pang clear na offer, I don't recommend you to enroll. Why? Because may mga parts ka pa na kailangan mong asikasuhin muna before enrolling on this in this program. I don't want you to enroll for the sake of enrolling, and then like yeah, natuto kang mag-close, natuto ka ng closing strategies, natuto ka on how to, let's say, express yourself sa mga calls. However, wala ka namang iko-close. Wala ka namang leads. It doesn't make sense to have that to have that program. So might as well work on something na kailangan mo nang i-work out. Because
Oo.
I don't want to get or take money from people na hindi naman nila ma-maximize yung program. It's for
Oo,
them as
minsan
well.
kasi yung ano, eh, yung last part is really the application, eh. You have to
Mhm.
practice what you have learned. So I'm not surprised na during the program itself, pinactice nila yung tinuro mo and nakapag-close. Kasi yun na lang yung kulang na ingredient, eh.
Yeah.
It's really to close. So, ayun. I hope that those who are listening, of course, to my community, sa favored ones, if you feel stuck and you're in sales or you're in closing, if you need help, take a look at the program of Rommel. Kahit na sa November pa niya i-open or early
Yeah.
next year, but just take a look at it. It would help a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. So, thank you so much, Romel, for your time. Super extend na tayo.
Yeah.
Ang dami mo.
Mhm.
Sabi ko kanina, pa-end na tayo eh. Tapos biglang ang dami
Oo.
na naman na share. So, parang sabi ko, ay, ang ganda. So, thank you so
Yeah.
much. Ako personally, I gained so much insight from this conversation. And of course, ano rin, I also know naman eh, na yung approach ko talaga, it's really psycho-spiritual, and you also have your approach. It's quite different from mine. But it doesn't mean that there's no parallelism or it's not,
Yeah.
interconnected or related at all. It still is. It still is.
Yeah.
It's just that you're coming from a different frame of
Yeah.
mind
Yeah.
compared
And
to my approach. So thank you so much. Parang na-remind ako of certain things that I learned from NLP and hypnotherapy that should have stayed.
yeah, and
Ayun.
yeah, I really appreciate I appreciate you inviting as well, because uh ang isa talaga sa mission ko is to help independent professionals, and giving this message to more people, reaching more ears, reaching more eyes, is something na I can thank you enough. Like hindi literal na hindi kita mapapasalamatan ng enough for this opportunity. And let's say even two, three, or four people lang yung talagang matouch nito, I'm really grateful of that. Really.
Yes. Oo. Actually, ako rin gano'n din yung parang mindset. Parang even if it's just one person really learned something from the conversations, it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm really I would be so happy 'pag kahit isang tao lang na ma-touch nito, ayun. But it's the ability also to be humble, 'di ba? Na
Mhm.
we don't need numbers. We just need,
Yep.
yung
Quality.
talagang impact, oo, yung
Yes.
impact sa tao. So I'm also grateful for everything that you've shared. You've been so generous in this conversation. Actually, ang sabi ko nga kay Romel, parang tsikahan lang. Parang ginawa niyang seminar.
Ay, ay. Well, usually nasa that's my tendency, so I'll probably have to watch out for that.
Hindi, pero kasi it's also wonderful to listen to you speak. So para sa ko, iba na talaga. Even the aura, even the energy that you bring, it's so different. And I'm really happy that we have this opportunity to talk and to catch up na rin. So
Mhm.
I'm happy. I'm really happy. So thank you so much again,
Yeah.
Romel. And of course, for the favored ones, I hope that you've also gained so much value and insight from this conversation. And if you really love the content of this talk, I hope that you also share it to your friends. And nasa YouTube rin naman ito. It's not just in our private here in Facebook, of course. It will also be shared in YouTube. So just share the link, and you never know who could be helped from this conversation. So God bless everyone, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. So thank you again, Romel. God
Thank you.
bless.
Cheers.